My name is Joseph Coburn. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I also graduated from Westside Leadership Academy.
I met Joseph when he was in 8th grade. Joseph was pretty quiet.
He was the one that was always hiding behind me and telling me to order something or, Mom, you talk to him.
I picked up an interest in cooking when I was about 13.
One day he walked up to me and he said, Dad, can you show me how to scramble an egg? And I said, well, yeah. He said, Dad, that's easy. I can do that.
And so I kind of dabbled into it, but I really wasn't that interested in it. Then to go from middle school into high school was like an entirely different world. Then COVID happens. So now I've gone from going to class and doing work to rolling over in the morning, logging on my computer, then going right back to sleep.
Most programs shut down at that point, but we immediately started up a virtual after-school space. Created a Google Meet classroom, and we're like, maybe some students will come, maybe they won't. And Joseph was there at the first after-school meeting.
So it was good to have Gear Up to say, hey, did you get up and do your work today? Or did you just sit there? I'm like, so you just sat there, didn't you? Okay, let's look into this. Is this hard? What do you need to do? We had never been virtual, so nobody really knew what to do.
And not much you can do when you're in a virtual space besides talk, and so we got really creative.
I mean, we're on the computer trying to do STEM activities, shipping stuff to people's houses. Some might go to the wrong house, and your package gets stolen.
He was interested in chess, so we started playing chess every day after school through like a virtual program. We got real competitive at times. That started a really fun relationship, kind of based around just interests like that.
And so I have time to explore myself. So I found out, wow, I really have an interest in cooking. So once Gear Up heard that, they took it, ran with it. They started showing me cooking shows, programs, books.
And then he just made the decision, I want to be a chef. I was excited because now I can get good food and I don't have to cook it.
Gear Up sends me a list of schools, set me up with internships. They set me up with chefs to speak with. I mean, I've never really met a program that'll go above and beyond to help you follow your passion and dreams.
And then his junior year, we were able to do a summer conference in Washington, D.C. We have a little nomination process. We have 8,000 students across the state, and Joseph was one of 8 that got picked.
Gary, to a lot of people, it's their world. They know nothing else. So for them to take me and a few other kids and say, hey, let's go on the East Coast to Washington, D.C. and meet people from all across the U.S. and U.S. territories, it was amazing. Really getting to network with other kids my age and see that we're not so different after all. One activity I remember was they had us take a piece of wood and you wrote on there your greatest fear. Mine, I believe, was fear of failure. Then you put it on 2 cinder blocks and they showed us how to break the board. So I'm thinking, I can't break a board. But they showed us what to do. So just do that. So I went, boom, broke the board. I'm shocked. I didn't think I could do it. And so that was like symbolizing you can break through your fear of failure. I met Ms. Johnson at our first conference in Washington, D.C.
He began with Steve as a mentor, and then when I started at Westside, he became my baby.
Well, Ms. Johnson is really passionate about helping the kids. I mean, in high school, she always stayed on us and made sure our work was done. We had all of our buckets filled for graduation. She also made sure that we not only had some type of certification before we graduated, that we also had a general idea of what we wanted to do after high school. I was able to explore not just culinary arts, but what I could do with it.
Gear Up serves as that support to them, to give them that push, to let them see the options that they have in life and let them be able to choose from those options.
Gear Up not only follows you from middle school to high school, they also follow you to college. The transition from high school to college was a culture shock. I mean, I'm going from 6 classes a day, doing work in each class and having homework after, to probably 2 classes a week, once a day. You know, nobody to really stand over me and say, hey, do your work. This needs to get done. It's all on me. So I thought, hey, I don't need to do this. So I decided to take a semester off. Well, Gear Up did not allow that.
Joseph emailed me and he told me that he was not in school. I told Joseph, you know, I'm about to call you. That's how I responded to the email.
He immediately contacted me. She asked me, what's going on? Why don't you want to be in school? Why do you feel this way?
And we had that, what does he tell me, auntie-nephew talk. Some things that I told him was that I felt that if he took a year off, he would not go back.
She really sat me down and explained to me why school was so important for my future and why having an education really doesn't hurt. And so with her help, I found out I really enjoy this. I like learning. I might not like school itself and doing work. Still don't. But I enjoy learning new things, meeting new people.
We set 3 goals on that phone call. And I told him, when I see you at our bowling trip, you're gonna have 1, 2, and 3 completed. And he said, yes, ma'am, and he hung up the phone.
They helped me set up a study schedule, get a routine together, set my priorities straight. They really made sure, you won't jeopardize your future. School is really important. And I'm really glad they did it for me.
When I saw him at bowling, he told me he was back in school and he had done 1, 2, and 3.
Now I'm able to hold myself accountable, and that's something a lot of people can't do. I'm also not so overly critical of myself. Now I understand that, hey, it's okay to fail, but it's more important that you come back from failure, and failure can really help me progress in my career and my future. Just let me think. 50 years when I'll be like 72, 62.
Looking back, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want people to know me as a person who really enjoyed what they did. Once I graduate with my associate's degree from Ivy Tech, I plan to try and find a good internship or restaurant to go work in. Then eventually, as I get older, try and own a steakhouse someday, JC Steak. I really want people to not just go and eat, but enjoy the ambiance, the atmosphere, the whole process of cooking. I want them to see how it's done. When you're passionate about it, you can really tell in the food. I want people to really know that not only I followed my passion, but that I also helped others. I want others to also follow their passion. And I really appreciate what Gareb has done for me, because without him, I would have most likely never continued my education. They wanted to make sure that I had a set future and that I would do what I love.